Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Uchu Sentai Kyuranger Episodes 32 and 33. So you probably did notice that there was no Kyuranger review last week. That's because it came out super late for me. And then even by the time it did come out, I didn't get to watch it until last night. And then I watched 33 this morning. So if that ever happens again, either with Kyuranger or Build, or even Ninja Steel, although I don't see that happening, but because it airs the same time every week, but then I'll just usually double up or triple up. I don't think triple up will ever have to be a thing unless there's ever a time where like my personal schedule gets so busy, or it's like a time where a lot of toy reviews need to come out. But the bottom line is if you ever say, hey, Kyuranger or Build never went up, it'll probably be doubled up, so I won't skip it. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. We'll start with 32. I feel like I don't have quite as much to say about that. It's not like it's super old, it was just last night. But it was an enjoyable episode, more enjoyable than I thought it was going to be. Not that I thought it was going to be bad, it just seemed like it was going to be more fillery. And I guess it kind of was, but it was kind of nice that that was be considered more fillery by Kyuranger standards right now, since we're not doing too much filler. It was basically the send-off episode for the original Orion ship, since we needed to make room for Orion Battler, and it kind of revolved around Raptor's attachment to it and thinking it had some sort of sentience because of one time it sort of got her out of a situation by like powering up when she needed it to or whatever. So it ended up being kind of a nice episode. I really didn't personally feel that much of the emotional weight because I wasn't that attached to the ship or anything, but I thought it was actually a nice episode for that and for Raptor. And like, I really liked the moment at the end when the ship essentially sacrificed itself and it sent the message, good luck. I thought that was a nice touch. But yeah, it was basically just about getting rid of the ship. It was beyond repair, and then they were talking about we should just get rid of it. Raptor was attached to it, and you know, Sergei was thinking very practically of like, well, we need this and it's just not going to work, and we shouldn't be going above and beyond. And it was kind of about him understanding Raptor's attachment to the ship. And there was kind of an interesting moment where like the Monster of the Week's thing was like repairing machines, and Raptor actually stopped the others from destroying it, which seemed kind of stupid in the moment, but also was something you don't see that often, is she wanted to stop the others from destroying the monster so that she could use its powers to repair the ship, which again, I kind of liked that because it's not something you see the Rangers thinking of that often, and it was just a brief moment, but I wanted to touch on it. But he wouldn't have been that much help anyway, because he basically just used this like super goop, and he wasn't really like a fixer guy. The only other thing I really had of note about that episode was I found it funny that like they did the Q-let, two things actually that reminded me. They did the Q-let thing, and even though I always found that bit kind of like bordering on annoying, I did kind of find it amusing that Sergei felt the need to fully take over Commander's role in doing the Q-let by doing the dance. But I like how they did the Q-let, I think for the first time in quite some time. So they sent out a certain amount of people. And then there was like, you know, a few guys at the base, and then like when it looked like the consumers things were gonna blow up, they're like, oh no, what are we gonna do? It's like, they could have helped. Like, it ended up being Lucky and Raptor that saved the day while the others fought, but it was like, you know, just because the Q-let said, you could have left the ship and helped. Like, they seemed like they were like, oh my god, there's no possible solution, there's no way we could also morph and leave. But anyway, I thought that was a pretty solid episode, 32. I'd probably give it a 7.5, which is better than I thought it would be. Not that I thought it would be awful, but I just thought it would be more of a down week. Anyway, that kind of works out. I reviewed these together because it was kind of a two-parter, or at least along the same arc, because 33 was the introduction of the Orion battleship, or Battler? I can't remember if it's Battler or Battler, but that becomes its own mecha. And it was also the storyline in which we got Commander back. So basically, they found out via that really annoying girl, who's still one of my least favorite characters in Kyuranger, coming to deliver a message from Commander, and now she's kind of got a past with him because the timelines changed slightly because of his presence. And she leads them to clues of the Orion Battler ship, which Commander helped construct in the past. And then Sergei said, oh yeah, I remember that. And I'm kind of curious about if that was all. It seems like it was always a thing, but like Commander just obviously changed it around a little bit. But so like Orion left it, and then it seemed a little confusing amongst some like weird spirit talk and toku nonsense, but it seems like Orion more or less hid the Q-Tama in his club, so that they found the ship, and Commander excuse me, helped construct it. So it has like the same bridge as the original Orion, which I found kind of funny, and I liked that it was explained via Commander being back there, but I also thought it would have kind of been a neat chance to update the bridge. I've never been too huge a fan of it. I think it looks too much like a preschool set, but whatever. Also, I actually didn't even think about Commander or Champ coming back this way. I mean, Champ, now that I'm thinking about it, makes sense because he's a robot, so he could last until the future, but I never thought about, Commander just, freezing himself. But that was pretty amusing to me, the way he was just like, oh, hello, my people, and he just came back and told about all his adventures of spreading the legend of the Kyurangers, and I like how Naga, said, this probably isn't true. Probably the only thing that's true is he spread the legend, but he probably never did this other stuff. But it was nice to have him back. I liked the way they did it. I felt the Orion Battler stuff was a little convenient, but I still kind of like the debut of it. I kind of wish that instead of, I'm actually just not sure, I was kind of confusing myself. I kind of wish there was a way that they could have just damaged the Orion or something, and then this was essentially just rebuilding it, so it still was the original Orion in a way. It seemed weirdly kind of convenient, and they're like, oh, we gotta get rid of this so we can use that, but there was stuff I liked about it. I liked the way it came back with Commander, and the way they used it to bring back Commander. And as far as the design goes, I'm not too huge a fan of the ship, just as a ship. I don't hate it, I'm just kind of okay on it. And the mecha form itself, I do like it. It's probably not one of my favorites yet or anything, but it's growing on me, and I do dig it. And it's the one that Lucky pilots on his own, but I kind of wish that, he was in the Kyutama pilot seat, and then the others were inside the bridge helping him pilot it, just because it kind of reminds me of the Astro Mega ship, where it's that's their traveling ship that transforms. So it'll be cool to see everyone get involved with that. There's not too much else to cover for this episode. The only other sort of B-plot was that the Monster of the Week sort of changed people's personalities around. So it changed Hammy and oh my god, I'm forgetting Yellow's name. Balance and I know that Sparta. They changed their personalities around. It was basically an opposite day thing in terms of Lucky needed to get them motivated by saying the opposite, which was kind of amusing. He'd be like, we're never gonna beat Dark Matter, and they're like, we'll show you. I think it was most amusing in the finisher when he's like, alright, let's finish this. I mean, let's not finish this. And so that was kind of just an amusing side thing. It seemed kind of weird to have that there, just because that felt like that would be the central focus plot of a Sentai filler episode, and it was just kind of in here while bigger picture stuff was going on. And then at the end, we did find out that after Champ helped seal Commander in for his hypersleep, then he went off to go find his creator, and we saw that the generals have him. And it's funny because I remember seeing a little bit back the scans for the two champs and the wrestling champ, but I didn't even think about the fact that he was gonna, I thought he was gonna travel to the future, and then this was all gonna go down normal travel somehow, so I didn't even think about it going down this way, but that's really interesting. And again, I love the way Kyuranger does this. We've had these little mini arcs that can last anywhere from 2 to 6 episodes or whatever, and then it rolls right into the next one. This is essentially a little mini arc about getting the Orion ship. We had Naga's arc, the new Orion ship, and then now we're leading right into this Champ arc, which I really like. I thought this was a really solid episode. I give it an 8. But anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Dawson Ryder, signing out.